You could crap on porn for being non-sustainable, non-BS, just performative verbiage that is pre-written and produced of what sex is. Guess what? A lot of the rom-coms, TV, romanticisms, all that we digest are written by people and designed for a state of purpose.
The Self-Hype Podcast.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Self-Hype Podcast. It's your boy Eli Vasquez, and this week we're talking the beautiful world of Disney, but not particularly any type of Disney. I'm talking Delulu Disney. That's right. This week's episode is I'm going to be looking at the classic Disney princess films, and we're going to debunk them of why they're ratchet and why we have been just drinking the propaganda Kool-Aid, all to have some fun, to call out some real wrong ideologies of dating and love, and maybe this is how it shaped you and how you navigate dating and love. At the end of the day, it's going to be a good ass time. I'm a big Disney fan, so don't come for me, and let's get into it. Okay, so this episode was like a random idea. I was on, what was I on? I was on TikTok Live, and yeah, I was wondering, I'm like, I should just because I always reference the Disney movies. I always reference rom-coms, always reference all these different things. And we might do a rom-com episode of people like this, but it's I should talk about these films. I should unpack why they're just such ridiculous ideologies and thought processes of what love is. And I'm not dogging Disney. I love Disney. I'm not a Disney adult. Let's slow it down a little bit, but I do enjoy it. I like the escapism. I like the joy. I'm a 90s kid at heart. So it's all the nostalgia of all those movies. I went to the theaters and saw all of them, and I still watch them to this day. Maybe when I pop an edible, but I still enjoy them. So I say all this to say is that this is coming from a Disney fan. This is no shade in the Disney game, but it has created such a falsified view of love. If there's one addiction in this country that we all are just scratching our necks and just chewing on our own shoestrings about, it's not chocolate cake, it's not booze, it's love and the delusional view of love, because we are in the butthole of media living in the United States. So we digest everything first. And when a lot of that is just pretty much love porn. There's this whole thing, and I'm probably going to get dragged for even saying it, but it needs to be said, is that you could crap on porn for being non-sustainable, non-BS, just performative verbiage that is pre-written and produced of what sex is. Guess what? A lot of the rom-coms, TV, romanticisms, all that we digest are written by people and designed for a state of purpose. So it's kind of like porn, but relationship porn, I guess. I don't know in a way. So all that to say is I'm not saying don't watch it. I'm not saying don't enjoy it. I'm not saying any of those things. But what I am saying is know how it affects you and your worldview of what you're looking for, because a lot of us are insecure and dealt with a whole lot of baggage growing up. So we want to be wanted yesterday. And we're all looking for this Disney-like spark that doesn't exist. And I'm not saying that there is no love out there. It just doesn't look the way that you grew up seeing it. And it's important that we challenge these things so we find healthier relationships. So what I'm going to do with that messaging is we're just going to jump in and have a good old time in just finding classic Disney films and me giving my 2 cents on it. I'm real time scrolling and looking here, and I'm just going to just shoot the shit. I think that's really what we're gonna do here. We're just gonna shoot the shit. We're gonna jump into it. We just gotta see what happens. Okay. So let's see. I'm on Rotten Tomatoes top 10 Disney princess films. Oof. Okay. Let's get into it. Starting with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And for the record, Ahmad, if you could do me a favor on the YouTube, put a photo of the Disney princess here. So as I talk, we have frame of reference. But big shout out to Ahmad. And you could keep that in, Ahmad, what I'm literally saying. So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Let's talk about that. So I gotta remember what the story was. So like I get it. She's a princess chick. She's with the seven dwarves. She eats the apple. She gets sick. The guy comes and I think kisses her. I should probably research the film's Poison Apple to Snow White, who falls in a death-like sleep that is broken by a kiss of a prince. Okay. Okay. Can we talk about the whole... Jesus. Okay. First and foremost, what was she doing slaving away with all these random ass men? Okay. If I don't think I would date a woman that has, 7 roommates that are all guys. That's not like a lady that is just going through it. That is someone who can't leave the frat house. I think we call them frat rats. I'm making a lot of jokes here. I'm kidding. I know the context of the film. I see in the movie, there's some people who are like, no, Eli, you don't understand. They're friends. But okay, so she eats an apple. She gets in a death-like sleep, and some random man comes up and gives her a good old smooch and she's like, oh my God, I'm so in love. So what are we supposed to normalize here? Oh, as long as I drink too much Henny and pass out in, the bottle service area at the club, and a man wakes me up with his lips, then is that the man for me? Hell no. So notice how, and again, Eli, it's kids' movies. I don't give a damn. We should be practicing communication in kids' films. We should be practicing what direct communication looks like. Not, hey, if you're sick, have a man kiss on you. And that's going to fix everything. First off, what's with all these damn princes? Why the hell do we even want to date a prince? This man got money. He's a Nepo baby. He doesn't know what the struggle is like. This woman had 7 damn roommates. That's how you know she is struggling. That's how you know the economy's bad. She probably goes to Wendy's and gets a value meal and they split it together. And so how the hell is a woman coming from the streets, aka the forests, literally hanging out, and her best friend is a deer, suddenly gonna fall in love with a man who got his food cut for him? It doesn't work. Those are 2 incredibly different lifestyles, and how do you even explain that to people? That's worse than Tinder. Oh, I was in a death-like sleep, and then a guy kissed me, and then now we're married, and we had sex. It just wouldn't work. Again, there's no communication. There's no buildup of relationships. Let's keep it moving. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so I'll probably like butchering it a little bit. Okay, Aladdin. Oh, Aladdin. So Aladdin is like, and for the record, Aladdin's like one of my top films. As a kid, I still love that movie to a T. But we got to call it out right now. Like that Aladdin film probably wasted years of your life. That Aladdin film was probably like, you see, a man who's down on his luck, that's stealing bread off the streets and has a pet monkey living in some abandoned warehouse. That's a guy I could date. And some of y'all dated some men that are like that. Some of y'all saw a man with dust all over his face and parachute pants and thought it was a good idea and wasted years of your life because he was too busy mooching off your ass while you're busting away working as an RN. So I get it, the appeal, and I know I was literally just dragging princes, but like, these are 2 very different lifestyles. And I think this is what drives me crazy, is that we see so many films and rom-coms too of this really poor person or really normal person and this super rich, extravagant, famous thing person. And then they end up together and it all works out. You cannot tell me that man was not embarrassing her when her girls came over for brunch. This man was probably picking his feet. I think it was, I don't think he had shoes in the movie, but like he's talking to a rug. Like, you can't tell me she was going to get side eyes with their girls and they were going to bicker about her. And then she was going to have a talking to with Aladdin. I'm like, Aladdin, can you stop using your hands for food and use a damn fork and knife? Cause you're embarrassing me. Like, I feel like this right here is why Pete Davidson type guys thrive, just for Aladdin. So that's that. We're going to keep it moving. There's so many of these that I don't even remember. Mulan. Oh man, Mulan slaps. Okay, Mulan is a little different. I got to give some love to my girl Mulan because she, like, especially being in the 90s, she was like that one badass lady. Like, she held it down for her family. She grabbed that damn sword. I love Mulan. The fact that it's comedic, it's hilarious. She's relatable, but also she doesn't take any shit. Actually, this is a very good representation of the duality of a human being. And I like that they really like built her out as a character and really showed all the sides where you can be a girl, but also not take any shit and really like hold it down when your family needs you and when people need you. So, but that's an interesting how we met story. I can't imagine them at like some friend's wedding and they're like sitting there and everyone's like, oh, we met on Hinge, or like, oh my God, we did this like, I did this trip with my girls in like Barbados and I met Josh and he's a ski instructor. And I was like, why are you skiing in Barbados? And he's like, oh, I'm skiing on that ass. So everyone has kind of these cute stories. And then it's like Mulan and her man. And it's like, well, you see is there was the Mongolians coming down to kill everyone. And my father was going to go to the war. So I took his place pretending I'm a man. And so the head general guy, which is now Dave. Hi, Dave. I forgot the guy's name. And he thought I was one of the guys for a majority of the time, and then he discovered that I wasn't. I was actually a girl, and it was this whole crazy thing, and we kind of got in a little rough patch, and then I ended up having my cricket and my mythical dragon help me save essentially the president of China. Yeah, and then we fell in love. So everyone's gonna look around and be like, so he fell for you. So the majority of your love story of how you guys met, you were a dude. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, all right. There's nothing wrong with that. It's totally cool. It's totally cool. I'm just wondering, what are we doing in the bedroom? Are we fantasizing? We're putting that helmet on. Like what are we doing here? So I say all that to say is like, I don't know if my like a homie that I met at like a Comic-Con convention and we like vibed and we're like besties for like 6 months and I totally thought he was a dude and then suddenly reveals that he's a girl. And for the record, I'm straight and I'm horny now. Like that, and to each their own. I think if they're gonna maybe Mulan, if it was 2018, maybe they would have explored some more open-minded attributes of that story, but a little confused on that end. But but all that to say is like I can't really hate on this movie. I actually give, like, in terms of the relationship aspect, it's really hard to find romance during a complete militarized overhaul of people dying left and right. So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I feel like they try to shove romance in everything, and honestly, they could have done without it. I think this just shows how Disney needed to have some sort of love story, which I think is bullshit. I think Mulan would have been a just fine movie, and if anything, I would have preferred it if she didn't have the love interest, because it doesn't make any sense. It feels just forced. Let her just save fucking China. Let the military dude be like, sick, cool, high five, you gain my respect, and keep it moving. I think it would have been a way more liberating story, but they always want to shove some sort of love story in when it's just the main character story. And you could take that for what you will. You don't always have to have a damn love story. Go to Cabo, shake your ass. No, you don't have to take anyone home with you, all right? That's my 2 cents. Cool. Let's keep it moving. Sleeping Beauty, hot ass mess. I'm going to fall in love with another prince and I'm asleep the whole time. What's with all these women being asleep? Well, because they can't talk. The reason why these men even want to date them is because they're not opening up their damn mouths. So it's like, once she wakes up, she's like, "Wow, really? That's all you make? You need to work less and make more." I feel like they don't even have opportunity to communicate, and that's the only reason why there's chemistry. The second these princes and like nepo babies and I'm just gonna say right now, a lot of these princes are from elite classes, and I'm just going to call it out. They probably would vote for Trump. I'm just saying. And a lot of these women like care about people, the others, care about low income, care about the day-to-day, care about the people that are being taken advantage of, care about all that. So I don't see them during election season really seeing eye to eye. I'm just going to call it out how I see it. You guys could jump in the comments and say whatever the hell you want. Sleeping Beauty is a problem. I'm just gonna keep it moving on that one. That came out in 1959. Goddamn, racism was at all-time high. Little Mermaid. Oh my god, Little Mermaid. Oh my god, Little Mermaid is so ridiculous. I think that just, that is the ultimate like BS story. How can you say that, Eli? She wants to just be where the people are. Well, she ain't a person. She's a mermaid. And I struggle dating cat people because I'm a dog person, let alone a woman that only his best friend is a damn fish. So I don't see how a woman who is the princess of taking care of oceanic life falls in love with a prince that lives on the coast who is eating oceanic life. And if he's the prince, he's pretty much a president or pretty much running the show in whatever land that is. So, you know, he's probably dumping toxic waste in the ocean to begin with, microplastics, probably her best friend, Theo, who's a damn sea turtle, probably died last Tuesday because he got caught up in a Diet Coke can, like plastic container. So my thing is how the hell do these two people actually have a successful relationship? Guess what? You don't know, because it ends when they get married. And they've only went through traumatic experiences because the Cruella of the Sea, what her ass's name? I forgot her name. Anyway, the octopus lady was starting some shit because she was jealous as hell and she was a hater. So if anything, the real lesson is don't be a hater. That's I think that's really more what it is. But the movie ends there. Like, what do you think? What are they gonna eat for dinner at that damn wedding? Oh yeah, let's bring out the bass. Let's bring out the lobsters. That's what they're eating. They're off the damn ocean. So that's gonna be a hard conversation. To be like, hey, yeah, pass the lobster, pass the sea bass, pass all that. That's like freaking AOC dating Donald Trump Jr. There's no way that was going to work. This is from two totally different worlds. But we don't see that. We don't see them even having those conversations. This woman was just love struck and she wanted her last name dropped and her eggs cracked yesterday. And guess what? She was a teenager. I don't even know where to get started on this movie, but it's a problem. And this is why we think we could fix him. Oh, I could change him. I could fix him. I could be the difference. Love prevails all. Hell no. You're for the ocean and he's for the streets. And those are two very different places. All right. Just call it what it is now. Let's see if there's anything else, shall we? God, Pocahontas. Do I really need to say any more about Pocahontas? I'm just going to say Pocahontas, and you guys could fill in the blanks. During these trying times, I'm not even going to go there. You fill in the blanks of Pocahontas. And feel free to read a history book while you do it. I'm just going to leave it at that. Overall, it's really important that we do this deep dive. One, to have fun and be stupid. Two, to be critical of what we consume as a nation. And me being a coach and me working in the personal development space and me having a lot of female listeners and followers, it's really important that we see how are we growing up. And because a lot of the times we ask, why are men the way they are? Or men are like, why are women the way they are? Well, what were we watching? You were watching all these love stories and there was no actual communication. There's no setting boundaries. There's no speaking up for yourself. There's no any of those things. A lot of these women just laid there the whole time and just slept. So that doesn't really talk about you sticking up for yourself, you speaking out for yourself, you being an actual person and verbalizing your needs. No, I am single in the beginning, and then the movie ends with me being with a man. And that's consciously creates a narrative that I am only as good as my relationship status, and I want to fall in love. I want to have my story. I want to have all that because that's what I've seen is what success is. I want to be wanted by that one. And the issue with men is that they grow up wanting to be wanted by many, not out of love, not out of romance, but out of being better than the man next to him. And that is driven by competition, driven by wrestling, driven by all the things that I grew up watching, not knowing that it was more than just getting a girl. There's another thing to see if this girl can be my person. And that requires a whole lot of emotional intimacy, communication, and all that. And before we start throwing rocks at men, notice how neither of these mediums talk about actual emotional intelligence, emotional checking in, and emotional repair. Eli, they're kids' movies. I don't give a shit. This is the reason why this is a hot-ass mess topic to begin with, and we all hate each other. So it's important to break down what all this means, because we grow up with this one ideology of external validation. If that's through one person or through many, a lot of this stems from what we're consuming and creating, or what we're digesting in terms of media. And if you guys like this episode and had a good time listening to me yap about this stuff, feel free to share in my DMs, or feel free to share in the comments, or feel free to even tag me in stories if you want more of this. So feel free to tag me, feel free to share all that. But just know, I appreciate you guys hearing me yap about this. And we're going to try more fun things and try more fun and all that. But these are just a little nuggets that I want to put in the back of your head to challenge yourself and how you may show up emotionally in relationships, and also to leave yourself alone a little bit too. There's a reason why all this is the way it is. So appreciate you. That is this week's episode. You guys were incredible. I appreciate you all so much. Again, if you guys really like this kind of format of me just going through movies and ripping on them, feel free to let me know. Again, I do look at my IG DMs. So if you tag me, tag Self Hype Pod, tag me of you guys listening to the episode. Maybe there's something you really liked or enjoyed. I'll reshare it on my story. I'll reshare it on my socials. And yeah, know that this is a community and all that. And if you need any coaching, really dive into this inner healing work. I have all in the show notes. I have all the ways you can connect with me and work with me. And yeah, feel free to watch a Disney movie this week and challenge it a little bit. I'll see you guys next week.
The Self Hype Podcast.